Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
So, grammar schools back in the headlines again this evening after yesterday's accidental ministerial leak reinforced suspicions they were back on the government agenda. The Prime Minister was quizzed on the topic a little earlier today by backbenchers, many of whom would be happy to see their return. Nick Watt's here and has the latest. Take us through the committee meeting tonight then, Nick.
Well, we're learning that our new Prime Minister is a woman of few words, but she really faced into that rumbling row in the Conservative Party by saying that she does want to move ahead with her plans to expand the grammar school system in England. She went to that meeting in 1922 and said there would be an element of selection, but then said, do you know what, we already have selection in our school system. It's called selection by house price, and she would like to deal with that, focusing her reforms particularly on disadvantaged children. And one idea doing the round is that you could say that grammar schools would have to give 50% of their places to the poorest children. Those are the ones that are on free school meals. So we just thought this is an issue that has bedevilled particularly English politics for the last 40 years. So we thought we would take a look at the dilemmas facing Theresa May. It is a line no political leader has been able to cross in 4 decades: widen academic selection. Now Theresa May wants to go where Margaret Thatcher dared not tread as Education Secretary and as Prime Minister. Ring the bell for grammar schools. This has delighted traditionalists.
It goes right to the core of what I believe in as a Conservative, that we should have the opportunity to progress in life, that where we end up in life shouldn't be dictated by where we start. It does seem to me absurd that if parents and communities want something similar, they should be barred by statute from having it.
But grammar schools are a toxic issue, and there are Tories who agree with Labour, who say they actually failed to achieve their central goal, to increase social mobility.
The evidence is that even if historically grammar schools did enable kids from very poor backgrounds to get on, have an opportunity, nowadays grammar schools are very much occupied by kids from affluent backgrounds, and very few low-income working class kids that we all care about have the opportunity of getting to grammar schools. And that's, I'm afraid, the situation in Kent. It's a situation across the country. And Michael Wilshaw, the outgoing Chief Inspector of Schools, made that point very powerfully only the other day. That's the evidence he sees as well.
Theresa May believes the reforms lie at the heart of her vision of creating a country that works for everyone and not just a privileged few. But the Prime Minister knows that she needs to move with care, because there are doubts in her party, right up to the Education Secretary Justine Greening, who is adopting, in the words of one minister, a sinuous approach on this. I have been told the reforms will be introduced incrementally with no wholesale change, in line with the thinking of the brains behind the idea, her Joint Chief of Staff, Nick Timothy.
This isn't an argument for a full-on return to a selective system of grammars and secondary moderns. If you've got an incredibly diverse market of school providers in a particular county or city, then I think it's arbitrary to say there shouldn't be a new selective school, if that's what parental demand suggests should happen.
Amid signs of unease amongst some of the Tory modernisers sacked by the Prime Minister, Theresa May made clear to the 1922 committee this evening that she would move with caution. Graham Brady, who resigned from the Tory frontbench in 2007 when David Cameron backed a speech by David Willits rejecting a return to grammar schools, agrees.
I think the only concern that would arise is if there was any suggestion of a big top-down reorganisation being imposed on areas, whether they wanted it or not. I don't think anybody is talking about that. What we are looking at here, I hope, is a modest measure to provide more freedom, to provide more choice for parents and for communities, and to free people up to have these kind of schools if they want them.
But Labour are confident they can block it.
I think that this was not in the Conservative manifesto, therefore first of all the House of Lords will not feel that they are bound by the Parliament Act because it wasn't in the manifesto. There are many Conservative MPs who have doubts or are seriously opposed to this policy, as well as of course there are many that support it. So I think that first of all Theresa May will struggle to get this through the House of Commons, and then she would struggle to get it through the House of Lords.
Theresa May believes she's found the elixir to reach out to aspirational Middle England voters. Others think she's opened a can of worms.
I've been getting away with it.